Welcome back to the Demon Tweeks channel. In this episode, we're going to be looking at steering wheels and direct drive bases. If we look at the steering wheels to start with, we have two options here. I can notice straight away that this one has a display and that one doesn't. So I'm going to assume that this is the better, more expensive one. And it's one that I would say I'm a little bit more familiar with in terms of the layout on it. I'd assume when we fire this up with the rig behind us, we're going to get a load of information on here that's going to be important to us. So what really is the important elements to these wheels themselves?
I think first of all, Joe, it's the grips. The grips on the wheel, they've got to be nice size, got to be soft and comfortable. And again, as close to a GT wheel as you can, because a GT car wheel, like you know, is a very similar style in that and design. And the display adds a lot more to it. You can download a software called Simucube. That gives you all the information. You can have lap time in there. You can even put your own McLaren screen in there, Joe.
Wow.
Or not.
Yeah, I have to say, you can see the grip ergonomic wise is brilliant. Fits around the hand, good girth to it. Feels really sort of secure and natural in that regard. And then I see the paddles behind and they've got a good clunk to them. So I'm sure when you're actually in the middle of a sim race, you're 100% sure knowing that's gone in. That click sound is really reassuring. And then the clutch element below is really cool. So I guess that gives it quite a good scope to be useful in loads of different sort of cars as well in that clutch format there.
Yeah, you can use it on Formula cars or GT cars, and you can set up the clutch bite point as well. So if you have a standing start, which you're not familiar to, you can have the bite point set when you're at the certain revs, your car will catapult. With the paddle shifts for the gear shifters, once you've clicked it, as you can see there, it'll go straight into gear for you. You don't have to worry about it.
Amazing. And I assume you can even have the gear number on the dash in front of you?
Yeah, you can put the gear on there. You'll have your oil temperature, you'll have your tyre temperature. You can have anything you want on that dash. Gomez Sim Industries, they create dashes for you, and you can just download them nice and simple onto the actual software itself.
Cool.
This is the GXL wheel, exactly the same in grip, in gear shifter, just doesn't have a screen.
Okay, let me touch. Awesome. And I can see all the dials here that I assume you can preset exactly what you need. Brake bias, for example.
Yep.
So in a real world scenario, we adjust quite a lot depending on the fuel load and the tyre wear. And then all the other ones as well, I assume you can get traction control,
yep,
ABS settings, even got radio, pit limiter. So I guess when someone cuts me up on the track, I hit the radio button, let them know what expletive they are, and then
yes,
we continue on our merry way. But on the back here, there's no clutch on this one.
So this wheel, the GXL wheel, is available with or without clutches.
Okay.
If you decide down the line you want clutches, it's nice and easy. You can buy the clutches separately and attach them yourself.
Brilliant. And I have to say the carbon fibre finish on this looks so much like a race car. I think if I woke up out of my coma and I saw this, I'd assume I was in a real race car. The quality of it's absolutely unreal.
Yeah, they're all handmade. Yeah, don't drop it. They're all handmade, and they're handmade via a Twitch link, Gomez, so you can see all the wheels being built.
Amazing.
And how they get made.
And then in this middle part, I assume this is the important bit. I don't recognise this from a real race car.
So these are basically Simucube direct drive wheelbases. You've got the Ultimate, you've got the Pro, and you've got the Sport. Basically, they all come with different. Yeah, you need to go to the gym a bit more. Basically, they've got different torque. All of them are excellent in quality and feel. The detail you get on the track with these direct drive wheelbases will blow your mind.
Yeah. I mean, I've personally at home got a belt driven one, and it's okay, but there's a definite delay. In the real world, when I have a slide, I know how to catch it efficiently, but with the belt drive, it just feels like a bit of lag almost. When I go for it, half the time I spin, half the time I don't, and that's luck.
So these are all motor wheelbases, not belt driven. So it's all that detail. This gives a really good feeling.
And then with the Sport, obviously we're looking at a lower Newton meters of torque. And then as we go through the range, how do you feel that? How does it feel when you're in the sim? And what's the difference?
So the Sport is up to 17 Newton meters. The Pro is 25 and the Ultimate's 32. But it's mainly that sort of response time with these wheelbases. So the faster response time from the Ultimate to the Sport, it's not a huge difference, but it's noticeable on the track.
Okay, so it unfortunately follows the general motorsport rule. The better it looks, the more expensive it is, the better it is in feel and performance.
Correct.
Amazing. That was really interesting. And I think for me, again, I'm just going to have a feel of it. I think if we can bolt this on to the sim behind,
yep,
and I get a real feel of it and just see how positive it is in terms of a driving aspect when I'm in the sim. So first impression of the wheel is unreal in terms of the feel of it is really comfortable. The girth of the handle, as it were, is perfect. I could imagine never sort of getting any cramp. Some race cars I've driven, actually the the diameter of the wheel is too small and it actually starts to cramp up around the back of your hand. So that's a nice feeling. It's soft and tactile enough where I think, even to be fair, without a glove, you're going to get good grip. It'd just be the sweat that you naturally produce.
I know after the feet, with the feedback of the wheel, your hands are going to start hurting, and you could even get blisters. So gloves is a priority, really.
Yeah, and then all the buttons are great. And I think what I'm really would be into is getting them exactly how they are in my car, in the McLaren. So I understand the radio's there, but in the McLaren we have it this side and the flash button's there. So having that element to be able to change it around is really good if you have like a preset in your mind where they should be, and that adaptability. And then like the cool stuff, like when I hit the pit limiter button, it straight away does it on the game simulator. And then obviously
started already today, Joe. Thank you.
on the dash, it's really cool. And then yeah, I think I've driven the Lambo GT3 that we're in here, and actually where the clutch paddles are exactly the same as where they are in the real life. So that's a great touch. And then yeah, I think what's the huge added value to the dash on this wheel versus the non-dash version is all the information you need is there, and you could obviously customize that to what you need even more of. So for example, I would probably look to get rid of the gear on the dash because it's on the car.
Yeah.
So I could maybe get some other stuff about who's around me competitor wise and their lap times, and I know that's obviously possible. And I think with the buttons that you've got here, so if I just go for the next button, being able to bring that up straight away on my screen there, so I don't have to go to the keyboard and in the middle of a race or even in the middle of the practice, it just means that you can carry on straight with it. And then I really like the function of, if I go to like, say the ABS, I can scroll down on this multi switch here, change it there, and then this is what's so similar to real life is it comes up on the dash as a prompt, just in case maybe you left it in that mode and you have a big old tank slapper and you catch it, you know you've changed it.
Yeah.
So the attention to detail is absolutely unreal. I actually can't think of a single negative I don't like about the setup of the wheel, the feel of it, or anything. So it's absolutely amazing. I don't think you'd ever look anywhere else for another wheel. It's brilliant.
Yeah, what's good about these wheels as well, so many clever people creating these dashes. So the Gomez Sim Industries team have created this dash. They create dashes all the time. All you have to do is download the dash and you download it onto your screen in front of you. So if you wanted to, say, replicate the one on the screen, which is Lambo, or your own in real life, it will replicate on your dash, on your steering wheel itself.
Amazing. And I like the rev lights when you give it there. It's absolutely in time with the dash there, and even the little bit when you get out there and it flashes at you. Again, it's just easier. You're going to enjoy your racing more because you're not stressed about all the little bits, changing gear or everything like that.
The wheel does it all for you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Really, really impressed with it. Right.
So your clutch paddles on the back, so you pull if you wanted to. So pull both. So you got two paddles on the back. Pull both. Then you let go of your left, and then you let go of the right slowly. And it goes.
Yeah.
Fall out now. But you haven't put your pit limiter on, Joe. You're going to get caught speeding in the pit
because
lane.
I was already at the exit. I wasn't going to. I know the 0 to 60, the Lambo is not as good as a McLaren, so it wouldn't get there.
You don't have fines in real life. Apart from you're going to have a speed limit.
We have fines in real life.
Yeah, you can have your speed limit infringement, but we can give you some, some
it's the
fines.
first thing I check the contract of the team is who pays the fine. In FIA events, it's €100 a kilometre you're over pit speed.
Really?
So it adds up really quickly.
This is a 45-second stop-go penalty in iRacing, so in a race it's over.
I think I'd rather that in real life as well.
I think so.
I like how the dash lights up the whole thing on a shift-up perspective as well.
Yeah.
Obviously the wheel feels as good, and even like that slide there, I don't think I would normally catch that on a basic system. Okay. So that direct drive feedback is just giving it to me straight there. I've pushed too hard, my tyres are too cold, because you were talking for too long. The tyres are dropped. Annoyingly, because all the hot air coming out of you realistically should keep the tyres warm, but it's obviously not quite there.
So in a real life GT3 car, that sort of slide, would you pick that up? Would you pick up faster in the real life, as in the detail through the wheel, and would you hold the slide or would you lose it?
Scarily not. I'd never lose it, obviously. But on the other end of the spectrum, when you start thinking about it, like the only feedback I'm getting is from the wheel, whereas in real life I've got it coming through my bottom, so to speak, and I can then get the yaw rate. So if for my brain to be tricked purely just on the steering wheel of that slide is absolutely unreal.
So you're feeling the rear end, not in your bottom as normal, but you're feeling it through the wheelbase, so it's giving you some good detail back.
Yeah, my bottom is now redundant. It's all my hands doing the work. So I just try and provoke it. Like the feel, if I just jump on it there, it's just so obvious what the rear needs in terms of catching the slide. And the consistency that would add to me on my sim driving would be absolutely through the roof.
So when you compare that to, you know, your, say, Fanatec brand at home, are you now feeling detail in the circuit and the car that you've not felt before, or?
Yeah, definitely. It's not night and day, and even through like the fast corner there, new turn 1 Abbey, the steering goes heavier like it would in real life because you've obviously got more aero load, so there's more energy in the whole suspension, so it makes it harder to turn, and the system is replicating that, which actually doesn't really add anything apart from shows you how much behind the scenes data there must be in the software to be able to do that kind of stuff.
And with the software talking to iRacing as well, which is a brilliant simulator to use, and that's a brilliant slide that you couldn't do.
Yeah, so I just parked it here. I'm actually a member of the BRDC, so that's the clubhouse there.
Right, okay.
Built back in 2002, and then we get that grandstand as well actually, so great view into Brooklands.
So you could probably give us some passes at some point in this season to come see you spin at this point here.
They're all sold out. But, so could I, in real life now, to save some embarrassment, I'd turn the traction control off and light it up.
There you go.
So at least I can do that quite well,
now,
right? You were impressed with that. I saw that. No, I don't want to turn it back. I want it off now. I've proven myself. Okay, I'm going to turn it back on. So I was at TC4. So again, it just comes up straight away. I know I'm in the right TC.
Yeah, you don't have to go for any menus on the game, sim.
Right,
just do it on your wheel. Your wheel tells you all the information you need.
Yeah, awesome.
Less hassle.
And then let's say, so I've ruined the tyres now. I'm going to pit this lap.
Yeah.
So what do I need to be doing?
You need to go through your menu now. Make sure your tyres are ticked on your black box.
Which way do I need to go?
Keep going. Good more clicks to your right.
Fuel.
There you go. They're all ticked.
Yep. So I'm going to get 4 new tyres.
And go back a page. You'll be able to see if there's any fuel.
Okay, I don't want fuel. Never need fuel. Well, how do I turn that
There
on?
you go. You press it. Go up one.
Whoa.
And then press it. Just click the button.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Well, that's actually, for an idiot like me, it was actually quite easy, that, wasn't it?
So see the red barrier on the pit entrance here? That's where you need to brake.
That bit?
No, next one.
Oh my God.
3, 2, 1, brake. Hit limit on.
So,
That was probably the best pit entry I've seen for a while, Joe.
yeah, no, that's why I did it.
This is what you didn't do at Snetterton when you bumped Keeney off. You kept on going around the track and then...
Just because he was in the Demon Tweeks car on the villain, right? I was in the lead.
And then did you get a fine for that, or did you just get a
fine,
penalty?
I just didn't win the race after race control.
There you go, pitman.
Well, Demon Tweeks, look at that.
There you go, on the jacks now, that's real life.
And we haven't turned the engine off, I'll get a fine for that. A little bit upset, if I'm honest, Gaz, that you're completely right and just how good these products are. And like I said, the sim stuff that I've done before, this is just a huge step up, and I was genuinely amazed that the feel that this steering wheel base gave me, and slides that would have turned into crashes on a more basic setup suddenly made me feel like a driving god that actually I think I am deep down. And I was able to catch those slides and straight away become consistent, and with the cornerstone of consistency, the speed and the lap time came. So for me, I would have to have this. I think it's the only option. I need the best to show that I am the best. But with these 2 other options, what do you kind of see the positives within them?
The positives in all of them. All these Simucube wheelbases are manufactured in the same way with the same materials. They're all high-end, high quality. All it is the Newton meters and the response time. You'd be a couple of tenths off maybe in the Sport compared to the Ultimate, but the Pro is very good. The Pro is the middle park. If you can't quite afford the Ultimate, go for the Pro. It's a great bit of kit. Yeah,
and I think if you hadn't have touched a simulator before, then the differential maybe is that little bit smaller, and you could start off with the entry level, and then as you get used to it, then start to look to scale up. And I've been fortunate in the past with my sim racing, when I've had to sell products, the depreciation has been so minimal that actually I haven't really lost any money. So it almost feels like you're hiring the product while you own it, while you kind of start to level up your components. So I think that could be a decent way of looking at going up through the levels of all of these products on a simulator.
Yeah, that's correct. The only thing they'll update is the actual software itself. They'll make it better, they'll make the feel better. With these Simucube wheelbases, Joe, there's software you can download very easily from their Simucube website. Also, there's presets made for every wheelbase, so you can download them with ease without you having to tinker with all these little increments of adjustment. You can do that yourself if you have the time, but if you don't, it's nice, easy and simple, even with the Ultimate Plus.
That's definitely a huge selling point for someone like myself with limited intelligence and also patience. So that'd be good. And then obviously I was lucky to use this steering wheel with that dash. And I have to say, it was almost too much information for someone like myself at the start. But once you get used to it, you're able just to keep your eyes in a more sort of small peripheral, and I'm able to see the information I need. I really like being able to see the tire temperatures, so I know when the car is ready to push and I can get straight on it. So another brilliant product that we fitted to our sim here. Well, I have to say, Gaz, unfortunately, I've enjoyed my time with you on this aspect of it. It's really insightful, and it's given me a lot of confidence in how close we can make a simulator feel to a real life car. And it's given me the confidence then in turn to actually feel like I'll be able to beat you and show you who's boss. And just remember, guys, all of these products are available on the Demon Tweeks website. The info is in the description below for the links. Remember, hit like and subscribe to see more of our videos.